what's your name?
Carol Willard.
You're Carol Willard, and where did you move to Highland Green from?
Well, I came roundabout, but from New Jersey, and I wanted to be near my daughter, who's up in Bodenham, her family. I'm a widow. But I'm really from the New England area, the Northeast, pretty much. We've transferred around quite a bit.
And when did you move to Highland?
2002.
So you must be one of the first people that
I was, I think, pretty much the first. And I've never regretted it.
You've been here by, if I can do my math correctly, almost 15 years.
That's right. It will be 15 years this coming December.
So you've seen Highland Green grow from 0 homes.
Yes, I have.
To nearly 200.
I've seen peaks and valleys, and it's been all good for me.
And so, what would you say is the number one constant through all of that?
The number one constant is really the people. People move here. They want to make new friends. It's a wonderful place to, when you're alone. I'm a widow and I'm alone and I don't feel alone. But I have my own house. It's the ideal place. So that is definitely a constant.
So tell us what you did when you were in New Jersey.
I was a school teacher and a mother and a wife. I shouldn't put it in that order, but those are the three things that I did.
What did you teach?
I taught first grade, and so I learned the art of patience very quickly, and I enjoyed it very much.
So other than the people, what else do you enjoy about being here in Highland Green?
Well, for instance, today we had a very interesting green bag, very interesting lecturer, and I like to read, so I have my book crew. There's always something going on, and there are so many different activities outside of Highland Green that are very near.
What do you do nearby?
Well, I've been to, this year I took a very interesting art appreciation course at Maine Senior College. And in the nice weather, we just get in the car and go up the coast and down through Portland, and there's so much to do.
So you've seen a lot of things stay the same, but also a lot of things change here at Highland.
Oh yes, absolutely.
What happens when a person that lives at Highland Green or a neighbor has difficulty?
Well, we have a neighborhood situation right now, and on my street, well, we live in what they call the historic section. Bittern Drive is the historic section because it was the first one. But now we have a bit of a crisis, and we're circling the wagons and doing what we need to do. And so usually we all go off and do our thing, but now we know what the priorities are on our street, and we're very happy to do whatever we can to ease a very difficult situation.
So it's a very supportive community within a community.
Absolutely, absolutely. I had an illness about 4 years ago, and my daughter had to go away on business, and my neighbor came in and changed my bed. I couldn't believe she did that. So I had food brought into me, and it's very. I feel very safe. I feel a part of something, and I think everybody wants to feel a part of something.
And so, sounds like you feel like whatever happens around here, there'll be somebody to pay attention to you.
Of course. Of course.
Primarily your neighbors.
Of course. Absolutely. I haven't had a bad day. I really do love it here.
So how did you find Highland Green?
One of my kids went to school in Maine, and I was a little bit familiar with Maine even before that. And then more recently, my sister and I were at a knitting retreat up in northern Maine. And on our way home, we decided to stop and look at a few places where we might want to relocate to. And one of them was Highland Green, and I'm happy to say the rest is history.
And your sister moved here as well.
Yes, my sister, who was no way ready to leave her home in Southampton at all, and she ended up loving it as well and seeing the validity of it for this stage in our life. We're still both very active and love everything this area has to offer. So she ended up buying an existing home, while I had a little bit longer timeline in mind and ended up building a home.
Yeah, so you built a home here at Highland Green. Tell me a little bit about that process and how it went.
Well, first of all, I would have told you I would never undertake such a thing. Never had, never would. And it has been just actually a calm but exciting process. And I looked at a number of homes here, which I was so happy that people are so welcoming to show you their homes. And I found a basic plan that suited my basic needs, and then I made some tweaks and customization, and I'm living in it now. I just pinch myself every day. I can't believe it.
And you've lived here at Highland Green for just a couple months now.
Yes.
So how's it been so far, and what are some of the things you've done so far here?
Well, the first thing I did was look out the window at a lot of snow coming down, and then turn around and look at all the boxes I had to unpack. So that was a bit of a process, and then since then what have I done? I've gone to people's homes for dinner. I participated in a friendship dinner here where you go and meet 8 people you've never met. I've played in a couple of Scrabble tournaments for fundraisers for the Literacy Volunteers of America, off-site as part of a little team. One of them we won 24 whoopie pies, which should be illegal. I just joined a bocce team, having only played bocce twice in the last week.
What has been the best thing about being at Highland Green, the best aspect of the whole thing? What might that be?
It has to be the people. It just has to be the people. It's hard to find one thing, but all the rest, as good as it is, doesn't really matter if I didn't have the feeling I had about the welcoming of the people here, the variety, the enthusiasm, the people.